Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday. And we're kind of back to the old format right now until I get my shit together and I get my brain back together. And we will get back to the vortex cards, which is basically getting into self-awareness. But we're going to wait a little bit on that because my brain is still not in the place where I think it needs to be for this, and perhaps it's because I'm working on my own self-awareness. A lot of times I will do these cards along with you, but then I'll realize that there might be a little bit of work that needs to be done. So in order for me to give the best of myself and put the best of myself into those things, I think it's best that I get this squared away first. All right, so I'm just going to start with my little bag of sweary affirmations. And then it's things to think on Tuesday. So I'll give you some things to think on. Just a few. But yeah. So I posted a meme this morning on Facebook. So if we're Facebook friends, then. And then I didn't want to delete it because some people had commented on it. Or not commented, but liked it already. So I fixed it. And then I reposted it. And I'll read them both. But I did write it down. Sorry. There we go. There's one. All right, come on. So the perspectives may or may not be long. They may or may not be short. Good morning, Eileen. I'm just, like I said, I'm still getting back into the swing of things, but I can't keep missing these shows. I cannot, because if I do, it's not gonna end well. So, yeah. So come on. Again, I'm doing my little bag of sweary affirmations. So, I was so excited. I got to see Eileen this weekend, and for my birthday celebration. Come on, cards. And I'm still trying to figure out the gift, but I am so excited because I'm just like, oh my god, and it looks like a cute little typewriter. It's like literally, I keep looking at it because it's sitting right there. So, after the perspective, while I'm waiting for things to upload, it's going to be playtime. That's right. So, all right, well, nothing's coming out, so we'll start with these two. Number 1, do one thing every day that makes you feel fucking fabulous. Remember, these are the sweary affirmations. Do one thing every day that makes you feel fucking fabulous. So whatever it is, I put on lipstick today. So my hair is, like I said, it's been a morning. Yesterday I probably could have done my perspective, but I was just so going in 10 directions, and then I had to travel home. So I was just kind of like, all right, I'm just going to skip it and I'll do it Tuesday. So tomorrow is Self-Care Wednesday, so I have some things for that. But do one thing again. Do one thing every day that makes you feel fucking fabulous. So do it. Do it. Just do it. I am my own best friend. Other people are total dicks. I am my own best friend. Don't mind my nails. Just got beaten up this weekend. I am my own best friend. Other people are total dicks. I don't 100% believe that, but that is funny. Put your favorite song on and dance your ass off. Dancing is exercise, so you literally could, if you have a butt like I do, you literally could dance your ass off. So I need to get back into that. I love movement. I love dancing. I just don't like doing it in front of other people. I like to feel fabulous in my own mind, in my own private room, just, feeling like I'm awesome. So, but anyways, put on your favorite song and dance your ass off. All right, let's do another one. I trust in myself because I'm a total badass. I trust in myself because I'm a total badass. Now, some people will be like, yeah, I don't trust myself. So you know what? Remind yourself that you're a fucking badass and just start to trust yourself. I'm gonna stop at that one because I feel like that's really kind of a good card to touch on. Only because I struggle with trust for my own personal reasons. Not just the trauma, but I've life happens and you just kind of like, but I realized one of the keys of why I struggle with trust, it's a big one too, is because I don't trust myself. I don't trust myself. I thought about that when I made a promise to older sibling and baby sibling, and I'm like, because I can't keep promises to myself. And as I'm talking to you, I'm realizing that's a big red flag for my mental health. That I have to promise other people things. And I think it's something that I probably overlooked because, you sit there and you're like, really, I just don't want one more thing wrong with me. It's like I already felt broken in my life. I don't want to keep feeling like I'm falling off the shelf and cracking in different places. And, someone keeps gluing me back together. but now that I think about it, and, I think that's part of the journey, right? I really think that's part of the journey is when we have these little self-discoveries, when we have these little epiphanies, right? One of the things, my cousin Jeannie is so funny. One of the things this weekend, was she took me to a tea party on Sunday, which was so fun. It was so lovely. I mean, these are one of the things that I really wish my mom was still alive because she would have loved this. And I don't know why we didn't think about this when she was alive because apparently this place has been there for like eons. All right, tea partying every day for, the fun, just for fun. And, I had my little crown that said 50 on it. My cousin wore a hat and, it had the little, I don't know what it's called, the little stand with all the little finger dishes on it and the finger sandwiches and the tea. The tea was amazing. And I got to pick 2 teas. And the first one they just give you. But she discovered the reason they call tea lights. And it was kind of, so they went through this whole thing, like all day. Leah, who was also with us, was trying to sit there and go, I know the phrase. What is the phrase? And I'm like, an epiphany? No. But it finally came down to, I was today years old when. So Jeannie wrote it down in her notes. And I find that people my age, my cousin's a little bit older than me, but I find that people like that grew up like us Gen Xers or baby boomers, right? We're all sitting here like I have a whole section in my phone just for notes so I can keep up with all the kids slang because it's just like, what the fuck are they talking about? Seriously? I mean, what is going on? Whatever. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. But yeah, you're just like, what? What are you talking about? But that one I actually knew because I see that on Twitter a lot. There's a whole Twitter handle I was today years old when. So I was today years old when I realized, I know that was a long way to go, right? This is how my brain is like a freeway right now. To get to the point that I don't trust myself. Why is it I can make promises to other people, but I'm afraid to make them to myself? Because I'm afraid to trust myself. And then we sit there and we ask ourselves, but why? The trauma I went through wasn't my fault. It was the person that did it. That was their fault. That's all on them. Nobody else around me, nobody else. Just that person. That icky person. And, so you try to work through the trust there. Then maybe you're in a relationship, right? And, maybe something bad happens. You're hurt. You feel like they betrayed you. You feel like they've done this, that, or the other to you. So you're like, oh, there goes my trust factor a little bit more. And then you start to wonder, well, I chose this path. Should I blame myself? Don't. Life happens. I'm so fidgety right now. I am so sorry. Oh my God. Okay. I know I can do this. So, it's a live broadcast and anybody watching this later will be like, what is happening? This is mental health at its weirdest, just and me kind of doing this internal battle with it. And, I'm not sure who's winning just yet. But I think I might be because I'm learning that I don't trust myself. And so because of that, I think that's where we struggle, right? And I don't know if I'm sure there's a million other people like me who don't trust themselves. They'll trust other people. And then we do that. We trust other people. And then, sometimes bad things happen. We're like, fuck, seriously? Again? And then it kind of kicks our trust a little farther back in our head, right? So that we're just kind of like, yeah, there's like 2 people in this world I trust, right? That's where you get to. Or, I don't trust or you'll talk to someone, yeah, I don't trust myself to make the right decisions because I make stupid decisions and blah, blah, blah. And, in this 4-year adventure of being in a depressive spiral, which I did not realize I was in. I kept thinking I was okay, but it turns out I was just coming up for air every so often, you know? But we'll sit there and go, you know, I don't trust that, or I don't trust myself. We have to learn to start trusting ourselves. Seriously, we have to learn to start trusting ourselves. And I think it's because we just, you know, maybe we don't want that pressure, right? We don't want that pressure. Like if I promise this, that I my dad and I were talking this weekend. I was just really kind of, I don't want to say educating him on mental health, because, you know, I feel like when I say we educate people on something, you know, I'm not sitting in a classroom. We were talking about mental health, you know, and I was explaining some things, and he's like, I just don't get it, blah, blah, blah. But he's honest. Some people would sit there and go, well, of course you don't. That's why, blah, blah, blah. No, I get it. I get it. And every so often I'll remember to say to him, I'm glad you don't understand it, because I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Well, maybe my word. No, I'm kidding. There are people, you don't want to wish this shit on people. That's what makes people crazy. And no pun intended, but seriously, that's what sends people off the deep end. So I wouldn't wish this on anybody. And, like I said, anxiety is kind of a new thing to me. I think my therapist tried to tell me several years ago that it was really kind of something I've carried, but I've just really managed it well, because I was so focused on my depression, I didn't have time for the anxiety. But now that my depression is kind of settling in, and I'm understanding it, and I'm really kind of embracing it and focusing on it, the anxiety is kind of like, whoa! So it's just kind of like, oh crap, you know? And I know a lot of people have been worried about my mental health, because this has been a whole month of just fun, right? I mean, it's like the flip side of when somebody passes away. Everybody's there for you, and the minute the funeral happens, boom, everybody's back to their lives. You know, you don't have people checking on you. You don't have people, you know, maybe you get a text here and there, how you doing? But people, and you can't blame them. People go back to their lives. They have to. You know, they might be grieving in their own way, but you have to learn to take care of yourself. And that's where I posted something, and I meant to pull it up, so I'm going to do that now. But it's something that I really, really think that we have to focus on. And it sounds kind of mean at first when you hear it, but it really is the truth. And some people will sit there and go, no, that's not true. This makes me happy. That makes me happy. But there's 3 quotes that I'm going to read today. One of them I changed, and that's the last one I'm going to get to, because I think that's where I want to spend most of my time with talking about it. But the first quote I got was from this amazing, fabulous book. It's called A Journey Within, that I got from my cousin Trez. And I did get some financial gain in the card that came with this. And I was laughing because I thought, I'm looking at it and going, I'm going to use this as a bookmark. And that bookmark will be my incentive to make sure that even on my darkest days, I do 1 page a day until I'm done. So this may take me well into maybe the summer, quite even possibly the fall, because according to the website, because it doesn't say in here, but according to the website, there are 204 pages. So I'm thinking it's about 200 days of journaling. But it's called A Journey Within, an introspective activity journal to help you get to know yourself better. And I thought, you know, I've just gone through this whole feeling, or, you know, this whole depressive phase. And, well, not phase, depression is not a phase, but I've been through this whole depression journey and healing trauma and trying to get through all that. And I mentioned last week that one of the reasons I've been having trouble getting back into the self-awareness cards is because I'm struggling with, I feel stuck, and my self-awareness is about right here at 0. And so I thought, you know what? This is probably going to be the perfect journal. I mean, it landed in my lap at the perfect time, in the perfect moment. Because, I mean, look, the first page, I did this at like 1 o'clock in the morning on Sunday morning, or Monday morning. And I was just like, wow. Or no, Sunday morning, sorry. And I was just like, holy moly, you know, this is exactly what I needed. Oh no, it was Monday morning. So, oh, there's a few things. I didn't realize I wrote this down. So, okay, I have a few quotes for you. All right. The first one I want to go to, though, is Let me see if it'll pop up. Oh, they're both on here. Okay. Happiness is a choice, not a result. Nothing will make you happy until you choose to be happy. No person will make you happy unless you decide to be happy. Your happiness will not come to you. It can only come from you. And we talk about that a lot of times as being a light. And I've talked about this in the past where I've said, it's that cup, right? We talk about that cup that I hate saying the word serve from. Okay, but I know that it's kind of touching on the words to be in service of, or to be of service to people. But I feel like it's more than just that. It's, it's having your friends. It's, it's from giving from a full cup. And a lot of times people will fill their cup with other people's happiness. They'll do things for them because it brings them joy. They'll do things for them because it makes them happy to see other people happy. But then what happens when you're done? I met a really, really fun friend this weekend, Jeffrey. I joke, he's my new best friend. All right, he's my new best friend. He came with my friend Deb, and to my birthday party, and we just, we talked about spirituality, metaphysical stuff, mental health, because he's got a dinged up mental health as well. I'm not sure if I was allowed to share that. I'm so sorry, but I'm so sorry. That's not my story to share. But the truth is, our conversation was just like, wow. So it's like, hey, I got a new brother. I got a new brother in my stack of adopting siblings. But what was interesting is, he messaged me yesterday, and he says, I know that the sometimes coming down from all the excitement and everything can be a little hard. So if you need, I'm here. And I thought, wow, I didn't even think about that. And I'll be honest with you, I think what's going on with me now has nothing to do with, and I thought about it. I actually gave it some thought. I processed it. I really kind of reached in there and thought about it. And what's happening to me right now is just what's been happening to me. But I've been so busy, I haven't been able to focus on it. Because I thought, well, everyone's probably like, oh, you can't sleep because you're overwhelmed, or because, there's no more fun to be had. But there is fun to be had. It's my month, but it's also my year. And not my year with everybody. I mean, this was my month of celebrations. And, it started with Sibling and I, and it'll end with Sibling and I. At my favorite restaurant, Michelli's, because I didn't get to go there on my actual birthday, which has been a tradition for years and years. So either sometime during this week, but, definitely if not during the week, it'll be this Saturday. And I'm really, really excited because it's one of my favorite places in the whole wide world. It's one of the first places she ever took me to after we went to Universal, because it's in Studio City, so it's literally down the street and down the hill from Universal Studios. And it was just like, oh, I love this place, and I think what's happening for me is that it's been a long time since I've celebrated my birthday. Usually we have a little group of friends that we celebrate with. We all go out for each other's birthdays. And for me, it was this was the first time in a long time I allowed myself to have fun. And I think now it's just that battle. Can I trust the happiness? So there's the trust word again, right? Can I trust the happiness? Is this real, or is it some kind of just, fictional image that I'm seeing? But when I read that this morning, happiness is a choice, not a result. Nothing will make you happy until you choose to be happy. No person will make you happy unless you decide to be happy. Your happiness will not come to you. It can only come from you. And I thought about that. I thought about that in how I was talking to some of my cousins, and one of my cousins is she's all, don't worry. After our tea party, when we all, I followed them around. I was like the little baby cousin sister, just like, oh, I just want to hang out with you guys today. So I hung out with them on Sunday, and one of them was like, yeah, she's all, Shelly, one of these days it'll happen for us. And I thought, one of these days, a boo popping into my life will happen. And this time, I know I'm so much healthier in my brain. And as I say those words now, I literally think to myself in this moment, then why do I struggle trusting myself? See, I don't want to walk into something new and think, wow, I hope this lasts, or I hope it, how's it, no, I'm learning to live in the moment. I'm learning to be present in the moment, not to worry about what will happen tomorrow, the next day after that. Because you know what if you sit there and go, I wish that this will last forever, and then all of a sudden you get your forever, but you're taking the excitement out of it, right? It's like somebody's trying to throw you a surprise party, but you're looking around for all the clues on whether or not it's happening. And I have to tell you, I'm sneaky and my dad is sneakier. Now, we kind of did this party thing in tandem together. So, because I told him, I said, I know you're going to throw me a surprise party, so don't. let's just work on this together. But for all my other birthdays, he was very sneaky. He was very sneaky because he knows that I am smart. Okay. I pick up on things. I pick up on things quickly. But what was nice was that it's just, when you get that surprise and you're not trying to figure it out, it's such a beautiful feeling. That's the happiness factor, right? That's where we find that joy. So just, I'm doing, if you belong to Kaiser in the United States, kp.org/calm, CALM, you get a free membership. Now it's a $70 subscription per year. All right. But you get it for free because they're in a partnership. And, for me, the reason I'm mentioning that is because I joined it, and I was like, because my, as I've been very honest about my journey, I'm, going back to therapy. My next therapy appointment is actually not until next month, but, my intake, she told me all these tools, these webinars, and she's all, try the Calm app. So I've been doing the 7 days of happiness. And, you would think that it was saying, oh, embrace the butterflies and the sunshine and whatnot. I was like, no. Some of the subjects are, self-awareness, self-love, self-care, letting go, being present in the moment. I looked at the subjects ahead of time, but so far it's been like self-awareness, how you choose to be happy, and letting go. I don't know what today's is, but letting go was about the self-awareness. It's about being present in the moment. Just don't worry about yesterday. Don't worry about 2 minutes ago. Don't worry about 2 minutes from now. I mean, yeah, there are things that we are going to have to plan in life, but just be present in the moment. If you're meeting someone for the first time for coffee, whether it's a friend or a potential mate or a potential dating person, don't go in there trying to plan your entire life. Just go in there, get to know the person. Because when we start planning everything past that, you start overwhelming yourself, and then you start not being the person because you're trying to fit this mold that you think they're going to want. And you don't want to do that, because then you might find that, this is not your person, but you've kind of put yourself in a position that makes you think that you are, makes them think you are, because you're exactly what they're looking for, right? Because they told you what they're looking for. And sometimes we want so desperately to be loved and to be seen and to not feel invisible that we'll conform. And that's what I've done in the past. That's why I said, whatever relationship comes along, whether it's a romantic one or a friendship, I'm in it better because I'm honest. I don't hold back. I mean, I'm not mean, I'm not going to be an asshole. But what I'm saying is that I'm learning how to be myself. And in my head, and I didn't say it, but I'm going to say it now. In my head, I said, I'm learning to trust myself. I don't know what my hang up is about trusting myself. So that's something I know I need to work on. So the Rumi quote from yesterday that I told you I also wanted to read was great. It's your road and yours alone. Others may walk it with you, but no one can walk it for you. Others may walk it with you, but no one can walk it for you. That is the same idea of happiness, right? Happiness is a choice. No one can walk that road for you, but they can walk with you. And I actually wanted to read this too. I forgot that I wrote this in here. So it was a universal moment of wisdom. It was just something I saw. Whoever wrote it was unknown, but it came from the Wow Transformation. And it says, it is a journey. No one is ahead of you or behind you. You are not more advanced or less enlightened. You are exactly where you need to be. It's not a contest. It's life. We are all teachers and we are all students. We are all teachers and we're all students. So I felt like that was a big one for me because I feel like I'm not where I should be in life, and I feel like, I've been a bit of a failure, but I know what I'm capable of. I know that when I do, when I do stuff, when I do tasks, when I am working, I put my all into it. I give my all into it. And even my dad's all, you need to get back to writing. He's all, you are good enough to make a career out of that. And I think I always use excuses like, well, what if people don't like it? What if people don't this? What if people don't that? But I think it's because I've just never trusted myself. I've never trusted myself to just, be happy with something, to be elated with something, and to let other people see it because I'm so afraid of what they might say, right? But it's about honesty. A lot of trust is about honesty. And so, there are promises that I've made to my sisters that I think I need to start making to myself, to hold myself accountable, to show myself, hey, you made it through this. You can trust yourself. It's not always easy. It's not always going to be a cakewalk, but you can do it. I think that's probably what my biggest, older sibling asked me what my word of the year was going to be. And I came up with 5. First I came up with transformation and thought, no, that was 2022. That was really kind of coming into my power and feeling empowered and being the person I know I've always been and always was meant to be. And then I thought, well, maybe it's arise, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. But now I think maybe my word is trust. Something I really have to work on and focus on. Use your spidey instincts if you don't trust things. Sometimes we jump in because we're people pleasers. So we jump in feet first and just want everyone to love us. And then we find out what they're really like and we're just like, oh, and that might be someone with you. Maybe they're not ready for your honesty. Maybe they don't like because you swear so much. I swear a lot. But maybe they don't like that. Or maybe they don't like the fact that you're not a teetotaler like they might be. And I don't mean that in a bad way because I love tea. But you don't take a nip of the good stuff from time to time. I do. My power number, I think this weekend was 3. Friday I had 3 Guinnesses. Saturday I had 3 chocolate martinis. Oh my God. Seriously. Sunday I had 3 different teas. And I had 3 cups of each one. So, wow. I guess my number was 3 this weekend. And I think I have 3 quotes. Well, no, I've already done 3, so I guess I have 5. But I think it really is all about trusting ourselves. It really, really is. So I have 2 more quotes. All right. The first one I'm going to read, it's on my computer. And it actually said the true mark of maturity is when, but I changed it. And if you are Facebook friends, you can see where I've changed it. One of them will say the true mark of maturity, and then I have this little explanation up above. And then this one, it worked out perfectly. I just put the word right over it. The true mark of healing is when somebody hurts you and you try to understand their situation instead of trying to hurt them back. The reason I say I don't feel that that's a sign of maturity is because when we're kids, sometimes it's like we can be so immature. I can be immature on a really funny level, but sorry, I'm just making myself laugh now. But I don't feel like, when we're adults, it's always about being immature in these kind of situations. We get up, we pay our bills, we do whatever we got to do. We adult, we take care of ourselves. Sometimes it's really hard to get out of bed for some people. And you know what? That doesn't mean you're not mature. It just means you're struggling, and that's okay. Give yourself some compassion and grace and some empathy. Okay. Because a lot of times I think we give it to everybody else and we forget to give it to ourselves. But I really feel that when people say things to us and we lash out, even if you don't have trauma, sometimes maybe you're having a bad day, right? And you're hurting inside. Maybe you had a fight with a loved one, a sibling, a friend, whatever. Maybe you got stuck in traffic and you're just, you ran late and because you were goofing off. So now you're mad at yourself, whatever it is. Hurt feelings isn't just from trauma. Hurt people hurt people. And you don't have to have trauma to be a hurt person. You might be going through something that other people don't understand. And, there's just different things. So to me, the true mark of healing or being healed is when somebody hurts you and you try to understand their situation instead of trying to hurt them back. I used to be a hurt person that hurt people. And a lot of times I try to figure out, why did I do that? If I had heard that quote years ago, it would have been the ultimate game changer, because when I heard it on my healing journey, I was like, holy shit, that just, it hit me upside the head, like, getting hit upside the head with a ball, because it made so much sense. Four simple words written out, but 2 words separated by a period. Hurt people, or a comma, I'm sorry. Hurt people. And, 2 words that are exactly the same, separated by a comma, that mean 2 different things. A hurt person that's hurting people. And I tried so hard to figure it out, and all I could come back to was, I just didn't want to be the only one hurting. And, when you get 2 people who are hurt, they'll just hurt each other back and forth. And that's happened. That's happened. I've had some showdowns with people, because when I look back in hindsight, I think, what if I had allowed myself to heal? Would I have been able to help them on their journey? We can't force anyone onto a healing journey, but we can be there for them. It's like that one thing said, others may walk with you, but this is your path. This is your journey. This is the way you get to go. And actually, I thought I had two more quotes, but the one I wrote in the book was that one. So, ta-da! But, yeah, I guess I really wanted to make that a point, because I think we spend so much time trying to figure out, well, this person said this to me and they're la la la. And I found that after I went on my healing journey, I changed. I started to see the world a little bit differently. And I've been jokingly called names, and I know people say it's not joking, blah blah blah, and maybe it's not, but I take it as a joke, because actually what they're calling me is not that bad. To me, it's a compliment. But I've been called a hippie. But sorry, I'm sitting here thinking, I feel like someone's going to say, what is it? I've been called a hippie. And you know what? I'm not a hippie. I'm a flower. If anything, if I had to go back to the 60s, I would have been a flower child. All right. But that was before my time. I'm not that old. But, sorry. I can hear the laughter and the hey right now, because older sibling and I are quite a few years apart. So, sorry. But that's not what I meant, because she was a flower child. But that's not what I meant. What I meant is that I still think they exist today. Hippies are a little more political. They're like flower children, but into politics, right? Whereas the flower children were just like, yeah, we're mellow. You can go take care of the angry stuff. We'll take care of the peace, love, and all that stuff. So, and it's not that they didn't want peace. I would say they're probably just a little more radical in their feelings. Like being political and being this. And so I would probably say I'm more of a flower child. Politics, I try to follow it. I try to understand it. Some things just pique my interest. There's a thing happening in London. I'm still not sure if it's happening about with their transit strike or whatever. And this guy, listening to this man, I can listen to him all day, because he's just so articulate, and he's the kind of person that you really wish would run for office, like a high office, because he remembers it's about the people. And so that's why sometimes I don't get into politics, because too many people are fighting over who's right and who's not right. And that's okay. That's your prerogative. But for me, it kind of just like, ooh. So, but I do like to listen. I like to hear people, debate and banter, because that's how you learn things. But moving away from that part, I have been called, a hippie, and I think it's because people don't understand the progress I made. A lot of people don't even know the stuff I've had to heal from, that I've had trauma in my life, because I've kept it so wrapped up. Very few people know the whole truth of everything. And my dad is one of them. And, and I'm grateful that, we are able to talk about that. So, oh yeah, and there you go. I mean, older sibling was talking about how, oh yeah, wait. Okay, so older sibling just messaged on the comments and said we just had our third mass shooting in California. And this, I think that's just this year, 2023. But I'm confused. Was there another one while I've been talking, or is this the ones that have just been happening? Because I counted 2, but I might be missing one. We had a Lunar New Year event where someone just came in and mowed people down and with a gun. And then in Half Moon Bay. And then I was reading about one in Iowa, a couple of students and I think a teacher. And all I can think of is, what the fuck is happening in this world? Seriously? My healing has allowed me to move into a place where I just want to fill the world with positivity. I'm not trying to change the world and make people think differently. I think having a diverse set of minds is great. I think people being able to debate politely, on their politics is great. I mean, as long as you don't start fighting and calling each other name and throwing blows, then, have that spirited debate. I think spirited debates are great. I do. I don't want everyone to be the same. I don't want everyone to be happy every day. That'd make the world boring, wouldn't it? What I do want, though, is for people to start looking at somebody else and understanding their experience, sharing their experience. Where it says here, the true mark of healing is when somebody hurts you and you try to understand their situation instead of trying to hurt them back. You never know how many people, you might be able to help with that. Older sibling helped me with that. Instead of trying to hurt me back when I was being that hurt person hurting people, she would say, let's bottom line this. What is wrong? What is happening? What's going on in your head? But she knew the signs. Without her, my mental health would still be all over the place or just hidden in the back of my head somewhere. And I would probably be living a life that was not making me happy. And, I'm happy. I am happy. I think whatever happens in my life, whatever adds to it, will just bring more of that joy. Because I'm learning how to embrace the happiness. I'm learning that. And that's why I do these shows. That's why I do the perspective. I had so many people coming up to me at my birthday that I had no idea watched. And apparently they watch later. And it's like, oh my God, I love your show. I'm so glad you're doing this. I watch it every day. And one person's like, I watch it every day. She's like, oh, it's my thing. And I was like, whoa, I had no idea. I had no idea I was touching that many people just within my own people. And of course Eileen was there and, older sibling stayed back because she was having some flare-ups, but she was at the previous one. But no, just people that watched, and it's just like, wow. I literally had no idea. And, I don't know if it touches other people elsewhere, when it's on YouTube and when it's on Twitter and all those places. But what I do know is that I do want to finish with this. Trusting ourselves is a choice. Happiness is a choice. And I think if you can find a way to make both of those walk hand in hand with each other, then even when bad stuff tries to happen to us, maybe we'll bounce back a little faster. Maybe we won't eat our way through our emotions. Or, go out and drive around trying to, like last night I woke up, I was so tired, I felt like there was some healing happening in the middle of the afternoon. I just knocked myself out and I just laid down and I was out for like 4 hours. I slept so hard I thought it was the next morning when I woke up, and I was disappointed to find it wasn't even 8 o'clock at night. But I was up until probably like 1 or 2. And then I went back to sleep, but at no time did I feel like going out for a drive to clear my head because I knew what was happening. I was in touch with myself. So for me, for my things to think on Tuesday, or no, Tuesday thoughts, sorry, Thursday is things I think on Thursday, but for Tuesday thoughts, I think that's exactly what I need to do. How can I learn to trust myself? How can I learn to dig deep and trust myself? To bring myself back into a place, or not even back into, I've never trusted myself, but to bring myself to a place that is so unfamiliar and so uncomfortable that I honestly believe that's why I've never gone there. Because change is not easy for me. You know, like I said, I've spent a lot of time trying to control things because I didn't want to crack. I used to think it was because I didn't want anyone to know, but it's because I didn't want to crack. I always wanted to be that person that could be there for other people, but I forgot to be there for myself. So, time to work on trust. So, I'm going to work on this. I trust in myself because I'm a total badass, right? I trust in myself because I am a total badass. Did you see how that? I even accidentally covered the word trust. So again, I trust in myself because I am a total badass. Do it. Do it. Just do your best. Do your best. All right? So, and remember, I'm going to read that happiness thing one last time. Happiness is a choice, not a result. Nothing will make you happy until you choose to be happy. No person will make you happy unless you decide to be happy. Your happiness will not come to you. It can only come from you. You decide in a relationship of any sort, whether, like I said, whether it's romantic, family, friends, whatever, if you're going to be happy. Okay? If you have a dinged up mental health like me, you know, maybe if it's a new relationship, be honest. Be honest over time. I mean, you don't want to keep hiding that because, you know, if it is your person, you know, whether it is or not, you get to decide whether or not you want to share something or not. That is your choice. I'm just making this suggestion because if it does turn out to be your person, they're going to be like, maybe they're going to say, I don't understand this, but please walk me through it. Or, you know, no mental health person, no dinged up mental health is the same. Some of us have the same diagnosis, but that doesn't mean we have the same experience. But allow someone to be there for you. That's what trusting is. Trusting is trusting yourself enough that you open yourself up to somebody else to talk you through something. You know, I went into older sibling's room this morning to wake her up, and she asked me how I was doing, and I said, I'm not really sure. I said, I'm not really sure yet. And you saw at the beginning of this video, I was just kind of like, oh my God, what's happening? I couldn't get one thought to stay in my head. They were just running in circles. And I just told her, and she's like, but, you know, is there anything I can do for you? It's like, no, not right now. But I'll let you know. But then later I came back and I said, I think I just need to decompress today. You know, and it's not because I had so many parties, but it's because it's the first time in a very long time, since before COVID, that I've been in large groups of people. And I have to tell you, I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. But trying to be there for every single person and not necessarily being able to spend the time I wanted to with all the people that were there, it's kind of working on my, you know, it's working in my brain, and my brain is trying to lie to me and say, you suck. And so I'm working through that going, no, they all understood. Because I apologized to everybody. I'm sorry I didn't get to spend more time with you. No, this is your birthday. We understand. We'll see you soon. You know, and they understood. So now I have to trust that. And by trusting that, I have to trust me. So, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Tomorrow is Self-Care Wednesday, and no freaking clue what we're going to do yet. Actually, baby sibling had a really good quote today, so I think I'm going to write that down and use part of it for tomorrow's Self-Care Wednesday, and then we'll go through some other self-care stuff. Maybe we'll break out the London box with some self-care tips, right? That's what's in there. That's what's in there, self-care tips. So, yeah, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. If you are struggling, whether you have a dinged up mental health or not, or whether you're not sure you have one or not, just, you know, get a cheap ass notebook, you know, one from the grocery store, like I said, or Staples or Office Depot or whatever your, you know, office supply place is, Amazon, and just write, doodle, do whatever. You know, because you'll be surprised when, especially if you're angry, like so-and-so pissed me off today, blah, blah, you start writing, but because you're so focused on what you're writing, you're unlocking something in your brain. And what's really bothering you may actually spill out through the ink and onto the paper. Okay? Because remember, the true mark of healing is when somebody hurts you and you try to understand their situation instead of trying to hurt them back. And that's how I know I'm in a new place. And I would go as far to say as I am healed now. All the other stuff, being that hurt person hurting people. Now I'm trying to rebuild the house of Shelley. You know, the house of Shelley Marie is, you know, it's under construction, trying to figure out the trust, you know, embracing the happiness, knowing that happiness does come from me. You know, I mean, what makes one person happy won't necessarily make you happy, right? So happiness really does come from us. We can't constantly do things for other people and live off of their happiness. It's like stealing energy from somebody else's house, like tapping into their power grid and lighting up your own house. But what if they find out? They unplug you, right? And then there's nothing there. So we have to learn how to fill our own cups with our own joy and our own happiness. Do things for ourselves. You know, take that self-care day. Take that mental health day, whatever you want to call it. And practice self-love every morning. I literally have a heart drawn on my bathroom mirror. So every morning I brush my teeth, I have no choice but to look into there. And it's only been recently that I really see it now. It's been there for years, but it's only been recently that I see it now. And use a dry erase marker. All right, dry erase markers will wipe off of the mirror. Don't use anything other than that, or it's going to be, you know, I warned you. It won't be pretty. But yeah, it's I'm starting to see it again because I'm starting to recognize my self-love. And maybe that's what trust is, the self-love. I just have to put the proper name on it. So again, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I will see you back here tomorrow. Self-Care Wednesday. Oh God, I cannot talk today. Self-Care Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Facebook Live. All lives are public. Anybody can watch. I also upload them and share it to the Aloha Perspective on Facebook. That's a separate Facebook page, which is public, or YouTube under the Aloha Perspective with Shelly Marie. So, again, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching and hanging in there. I got some stuff I got to play with now while I'm doing all this, so I'm super duper excited. But please, please, please take care of yourselves, you know, and allow yourself to be happy. It's okay. I know people might beat us down in life and make us feel like we don't deserve it, but we do. Everybody deserves to be happy. Okay? Have a great day, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow.